Northam yearbook page shows men in blackface and KKK robe. And we're back. Mike Cernovich, Cernovich.com. This is a breaking story. Photos were circulating earlier today. They hadn't been confirmed, so I didn't share them. I don't share something of this nature unless it's confirmed by a reputable outlet. And now multiple outlets, including the Virginia Pilot, which is a local news outlet, has confirmed it. So the Virginia governor is seen here in a KKK blackface outfit. So Ralph Northam yearbook page shows men in blackface and KKK robe. A photo from Governor Ralph Northam's medical school yearbook shows two men, one in blackface and one in a KKK robe and hood, on the same page as the governor. So I guess the issue is people are trying to determine if that's him, if it's not him. That really is the story now is, well, it wasn't me. I don't know who that guy is, right? It's unclear who the people in the costumes are. So that's where the debate now is going to be had. He's going to, of course, have to deny this. But that's certainly disturbing. Is it him? Is it a friend of his? Nobody knows right now. This is quite startling. So I saw it today. People were sending me, and I'm like, look, man, I'm not gonna. This is the kind of thing you don't run with, right? This is not the kind of thing that's too good to be true. You call it. That's a little cynical, but I don't know. News and media is a cynical business. It's too good to be true that the governor was in blackface, right? I mean, it shows that we're a fallen man, and the Christians and Muslims and, the other religious people among you can kind of talk about what that means, the fallen nature of it all. But in terms of just pure cynicism, and that is what fundamentally media is cynicism, you get a picture like this and it's too good to be true. You just don't believe it, right? So this is a half page from the 1984 Eastern Medical Virginia School Yearbook, photographed by the Virginia Pilot today, courtesy of the Eastern Virginia Medical School. So again, they don't know who the other guy is. I mean, it's kind of weird. There's the guy's name, but sort of hard to identify who the person is here in the blackface. You don't actually know, right? Yeah. So you don't actually know, right? So that is interesting. That is for sure. What do you think it all means? So I already hear a bunch of people, a lot of negative people. He just won't apologize. Just a loser mindset. They immediately go, well, it won't matter. This is pretty big. This shows me that you're not very intelligent, actually. This is a pretty massive. This would have absolutely altered the election, the Virginia governor's election, showing you, of course, that Ed Gillespie's people are just not effective, and the GOP in general is not competent. Now, already people are saying, oh, nothing will happen, blah, blah, blah. Well, then go home. Go home. Why do you follow me? Go home. Go cry yourself to sleep. Go away. I don't need you. Naysayers. This is big. And of course, Governor Northam is famous because his remarks on abortion, or I don't even know that you would call his remarks on abortion about abortion. That really is pretty crazy. So this is it's going to be a bad day for Ralph Northam. Absolutely, is going to be a bad day for Ralph Northam. It's pretty. It's pretty, like I said, this is the Virginia Pilot. It's a local paper. And yeah, the breaking. So again, this is the Virginia Pilot is a reputable publication. They went in and it's just like that. Now somebody says if his name is on the page and he isn't, the other pic's on the page. Yeah, that's going to be, he's going to say it wasn't me, right? He's going to do the shaggy defense. How many of you, raise your hand, press 1 if you know what the shaggy defense is. Press 1 if you know what the shaggy defense is, and press 2 if you don't. The shaggy defense is it wasn't me. right? The Shaggy defense, based on the song It Wasn't Me, is, well, I know it says Ralph Shearer Northam here on the page, and I know this is a yearbook and it has my name on it, but I'm not actually that guy. Nobody really knows who that guy was. So he's got to go with the It Wasn't Me defense, the Shaggy defense. This is but this is pretty wild. And again, the Virginia Pilot, multiple other outlets are confirming this. This is not a fly-by-night, operation. So this is pretty big. Yeah. This is this is pretty big. Now, a good question that was asked is, why are these, just now surfacing? Yeah, that's the question. Why weren't they found? Are we living in a simulation? That's the next question. Are these photos proof that we're living in a simulation, right? Why were these photos just now discovered? Is this proof we are living in a simulation? Now, here's what I mean by that. The simulation, you change the past. A lot of people don't understand that. They say you can't change the past. Sure, the past is being rewritten all the time. Now, this governor guy became famous for his abortion comments. And then the simulation updated with this yearbook, and that's why they just found the yearbook. The yearbook had never existed until the pictures appeared. Does that make any sense? The yearbook had never existed until these photos appeared. And now everyone's memories, everybody who went to school with him now, they're all going to remember now, right? Everybody's update will be, or everybody's memory will be kind of updated. So that's why people say, why didn't they find these? Well, because they didn't exist. The simulation for the plot twist, the people who make our simulation now gave us those images. They created it, right, retroactively. And then now the memory of everybody involved in that, people are going to remember, right? Even though those memories will be false. The memories are being rewritten right now in all of the players in the simulation who went to school with them. Yeah, they're all going to be in the simulation for him. People say it's not the Matrix. How do you know? How do you know we're not living in a simulation? Prove to me we're not living in a simulation. Prove to me we're not. Tell me why we're not living in a simulation. Go ahead. How do you know we're not living in a simulation? Right? How do you know that we're not living in a simulation? Right? How do you know? How do you know? Yeah, will there be a special counsel investigation into this? Could be. Could be a special counsel. So yeah, again, a lot of people are already saying nothing is going to happen and blah, 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 and you just lose this, go away. The media won't cover it. The media won't cover it. Why don't you cover it? Why don't you share links? Why don't you educate everybody in your social circle about it? Media won't cover it. Well, you sound like a child. So much within the GOP and conservative thinking, a bunch of cry. The media won't cover. Why don't you cover it then? Why don't you amplify it? Why don't you spread the message? Why don't you hold a protest? Why don't you organize? Why don't you organize a protest? Someone said to me, does it matter if ours perceived reality? Yeah, does it matter that we're living in a simulation? No, it doesn't matter that we're living in a simulation. People get really defensive about the idea that we're living in a simulation. Why does that bother you? Why does that challenge your worldview? There's room for God in a simulation. God could be the person who created it. In the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. Okay. Well, the heaven and the earth could be simulated reality. Right? What does reality mean even? That's what people, we're not living in a simulation. First of all, you've never even heard the term. You never even heard the term until you come out of my periscopes and podcasts and you have an opinion. Oh, we're not living in a simulation. Well, first of all, you never even heard about it. You're an idiot. You're not an idiot for not having heard of it. because that would be like saying, if you don't know everything, you're an idiot. No, you learn. But you've never heard the term the simulation, but then you have a big opinion and you know we're not living in it. We don't even know what a simulation is. You don't even know what is objective reality. You don't even know what that means. And then you have an opinion on it. And I think that's because people are not, how do you say? Just they believe that, well, what does that mean about God? Well, God could have created the world you live in. Whether you call it a simulated reality or real reality, what difference does that even make? Does it feel real? Is it indistinguishable from reality? What happens when you can go into VR goggles and what you experience in VR is indistinguishable from reality? So there's a conception of base reality. How do you know we're in base reality? Base reality means the true beginning of reality. Well, once you get into VR and the VR is indistinguishable from reality, then how do you know that when you take the VR goggles, you're now in base reality? How do you know there's not somebody else wearing a skin suit like in the show Alter Carbon? How do you know that's not happening? And then base reality isn't back. Nobody knows. These are complicated questions. The answer two is I don't know. I'm comfortable with not knowing. How can you know everything? Right? How can you know everything about everything? God could be the architect of the simulation, right? How can you know everything about everything? So I'm comfortable with just saying, we could be, maybe we're not. And in terms of the arguments for the simulation, one of the greatest arguments is that when you read something online, do you have emotional responses to it, right? Well, the internet isn't real. What you're reading isn't real. You're seeing me right now. That isn't real. Just pixels, right? Pixels on a screen. It isn't real. It's not like you can hit it, right? So right now, am I real or am I just a holograph? For all intents and purposes, I'm a holograph. You believe that I exist and you believe that I'm in this real world. We're communicating, though, via holographic reality. I'm not next to you. You can't, and you would like to, feel these shoulders, maybe feel my biceps a little bit, run your fingers through my hair. I understand that you would like to do that, but you're not able to because I'm not real where you are. I'm a holograph. That's why people try to overcomplicate it. Right now, I'm indistinguishable from a holograph to you. Oh, but that's not a real hologram. A real hologram is, and then people begin to change the definitions. What I'm doing, though, is just telling you, here's how you think more deeply about the world, the reality we live in. And that is, I'm not real right now. I'm not in your reality. And yet I'm altering how you feel. If I say mean things, if I insult Christianity, you'll be really upset. If I tell you I converted to Islam, you're going to be angry. I'm just a holograph, though. Why would you care? If I told you right now I converted to Islam, you would get angry. I know, because I've been getting voicemails and everything else. Well, why, though? I'm not real. I'm not here with you right now, but I'm able to alter how you feel through a hologram. How do we know everything's not a hologram? How do we know even what we feel isn't a hologram? But we've just been programmed to believe that that's the limit. Oh, you just like when you play a video game, you run in against the wall. Okay, you can't move any further. The old school video games, right? How do you know that the video game character doesn't feel like he's up against the wall now? I can't move. Okay, I got to go this way. The answer is you don't, and that's okay. I don't know. The answer is okay. Am I a meat suit being controlled by somebody with video game controllers? I don't know. How would I know? How would I be able to know? That's also too why I don't argue. People argue about the simulation. I'm not going to argue with you about it either way, because it's unknowable. Wittgenstein had a line, whereof we cannot speak of, we must pass over in silence. In other words, what we can't prove one way or another, lighten up, chill out. It's not a big deal. That's why when people tell me they don't believe the simulation is real, I'm like, well, what books have you read about it? Well, I never read no book about the simulation. Okay, well, then you don't matter. Then you don't matter. Oh, the simulation is not real. It's like, oh, well, what do you mean by the simulation? You mean the hypothesis, right? Simulation hypothesis? Who wrote the paper on it? Who have you heard talk about the simulation before? What books have you read? Oh, so you just have an opinion, right? Well, that's not valuable. That is invaluable. But if you thought about it and you said, no, I don't think we live in a simulation, X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, man. That's an interesting point of view. But likewise, me, I don't, if people tell me they don't believe we're in a simulation, I don't get like really angry because it's just, it's unknowable, right? It's just absolutely, unknowable, right? Unknowable. Let me, so let's go ahead and read some comments here. We got, oh yeah, we have far left-wing activists are so desperate they're now accusing me of stolen valor. That's how desperate they are now. Even though I have pictures, they're saying I never graduated officer candidate school. So that goes to show the level that the far left is going to. Okay, you want to get back to blackface? Sure, let's get back to blackface. We do a lot of meandering around here. So can we get back to blackface? Sure. Here's the picture. This is a governor, state of Virginia, Governor Ralphie. And here is either him or he chose to put this in his yearbook photo. Can you imagine the freak out, right? Can you imagine the freak out they're going through right now? What is our cover story going to be? So the pictures, by the way, they are authentic. They've been verified. This is all real. This is all true. Multiple reputable outlets have confirmed it. So the question then is, I don't know, man. How do you guys feel about this? What do you think, or how do you feel about the governor of Virginia in a Klan hood or somebody on his page, right? If you want to hedge. Well, it's somebody on his page. So here's what I would need to do. I would need to see a yearbook entry. Here's the way my brain thinks. And by the way, here's how to think like a lawyer. And here's how to think like a more rational person. But what I would need to do is I would need to see the yearbook. And then I would want to see the pages of every student from that year. And then I would want to find out, are there ever pictures of people who aren't the person on their page? And then it goes, well, why would he let that on his page? There's a number of issues, but the first thing I would do is you always want to find the baseline rate. So the first thing I would do is I would say, okay, this is one student, but maybe there are pictures of people who aren't the student on their page because they were friends, or maybe it's a prank, maybe it's a gag. That's what I would do, and I would go and I would read every page of the yearbook. And then I would say, okay, every other student, every picture was theirs. Or I would say, well, no, actually, there are a number of instances where the people depicted is not the student. That's how I'd examine it. And then the next level would be, even if this isn't him, why did he have that in his yearbook? Was it a prank? Right? This is the way you'd process these things. You would say, did he choose that picture? Was it? No, but I mean, what really I'm going to do is just, I mean, you can imagine. I'm just telling you if you wanted to be rational about it. If you want to treat him the way the left-wing media treats us, then you would just say that he's in the KKK, right? I mean, that's what you would say. If you want to apply the same standards the left-wing media applies to conservatives, right, you would just say this is a real KKK outfit and they attended a Klan meeting and maybe he's lynched people. You know, you would go do what they do. Well, just asking questions here. Here, I'm on CNN now, right? Hello, I'm a very serious CNN reporter, and shocking photos have emerged of Governor Northam. Now, we don't know this yet, but was he a member of the KKK? Has he committed lynching? We don't know. We're just asking questions. I'm going to turn it over to the panel. Hello, panel. How many people do you think Governor Northam has lynched? Conservative estimate. 15, 20 people that you hand it over to you, right? That's the way they would do it. They would immediately go to, you want to stretch it out as far as you can, reach as far as you can. That's what the left-wing media would do if it were a conservative with pictures like these. Absolutely what they would do. Me, was it I mean, it's hard to defend either way. I mean, that's the interesting part about it is his best defense is it was an insensitive Halloween costume. and it was 1984. That was another era. You know, his best defense is still pretty hard, right? It's still bad. Yeah, his best defense as well was a bad Halloween costume, and shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry. The KKK, bro. That's hard. The only way he could get away with that is maybe if the person under the KKK suit were African American and it was some kind of Dave Chappelle did a skit, right? Maybe if there was some really Dave Chappelle level humor or something they were trying to pull off, maybe he could get away with that. But this isn't the kind of thing, you know. This isn't the kind of thing you get away with, right? Tisk. 1984. Different time in America, that's for sure. Even in the 80s. KKK suit, even in the 80s is poor taste. To put it mildly, right? I'm not going to, the shock and outrage, but this is shocking and outrageous, even by my standards. And I've made some very, 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 very bad jokes, regretful jokes. So you're talking to somebody who knows what a very poor taste joke is. And I've made a lot of them. This is bad. This is on a scale of 1 to 10, this is an 11. No. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 10. And 11 would be, there was that Rick and Morty co-creator, and he simulated himself having sex with a newborn baby. That's an 11, right? I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was, I forget the guy's name, but he was one of the, I think Rick and Morty. I want to make sure I get it right, but he did a comedy sketch where he simulates having sex with a baby doll, and he simulated himself having sex with a newborn baby. That would be an 11. That's definitely more offensive than this. This is a 10 though. Other than, really like stuff involving children or whatever, this is as bad as this is definitely as bad as it gets. Right? Definitely definitely as bad as it gets. So what do you guys think? How do you feel about this picture? What is going on? What do you think will happen next? Do you think he will resign? I don't think he'll resign, but this is pretty hard, man. This is pretty hard to get by. Democrats do live by another standard, but this is another level, right? This is different kind of level. Yeah, this is another level of the game. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely 100% true. 100% true. By the way, have you all watched Hoaxed yet? Have you? I'll do it's a great film. It's a great weekend. Hoaxedmovie.com. Have you all watched Hoaxed yet?
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
How do we explain how this is possible?
How did this happen?
Since Election Day, questions have been raised about the role that false news stories distributed online played in the final result.
There's been a lot of talk lately about
fake news,
hoax sites, and hyper-partisan blogs.
A threat to democracy.
All media is narrative, and we are in a war of narratives.
I think it's interesting to have someone like Mike doing a documentary about fake news,
because it's owning a term that has been directed at him.
Until it happens to you, you can't really understand how powerful the fake news is.
People who have been printed in the media a lot can start to identify who's fake news.
I've been lied about repeatedly. My friends have been lied about.
Because they know their true story more than anyone.
I don't have to frame them. I just have to talk about what they've done.
We are told by the media what the world is. We are told what is right, what is wrong, what to believe, who to love, who to hate.
I think that the media will gin up controversy to create an environment of discontent.
There are people on both sides who just want us to go to war.
Congressman Steve Scalise has been shot.
The suspect was upset over the election of President Trump.
Falsehoods have consequences. That's what makes them false.
Like, that's unbelievable. I don't understand why I haven't heard of this.
In a way, the media is designed not to inform you, but to keep you uninformed.
I have over 4,000 friends on Facebook. I've never seen that story public.
So as soon as they introduced the idea that news could be fake, it was turned against them almost immediately. And now we're in a war with them to determine who's the real fake news.
Hoaxedmovie.com. I know what you got weekend planned. Hoaxedmovie.com. HOAXEDMOVIE.com. Best movie on fake news you're ever going to find. Best movie you're going to watch. Hoaxedmovie.com. And by the way, this is not a hoax. This is the Virginia governor rocking blackface and KKK pictures. And I don't know what media hoax they're going to try to spread on this one to stop this, but wow. Thanks for watching. Mike Cernovich, hoaxedmovie.com. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button and then hit the subscribe button below. Hit the like button and the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, hit the emojis. Go to hoaxedmovie.com. Have a great weekend.